Hi, Claire Williamson here. Hope you've had a great day. I've had the most incredible day. We spent the day going around Australia Zoo. I'm sure that people all over the world will know the name Steve Irwin. I know that when I was a kid, he was the guy that we watched. You know, it kind of looked like he was having a laugh on TV with all of this scary wildlife, with this crazy accent and these weird words, but the truth is about Steve Irwin is hey Joanne, how are you, my love? He has left this incredible legacy that lives through Australia Zoo in every way, right? And I was blown away today about how powerful that zoo is, allowing his legacy to live on in the things that they're doing, the conservation projects, the education. And of course, this really resonated with me because I'm all about helping people to discover and live out their soul goal. I believe that we're all given, or we all have this soul goal for a reason, and the world needs us, right? There are so many things in this world that we have a power to change. And what I see is a majority of people stuck in survival mode rather than a majority of people living out their soul goal and changing the world. And so that's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing now with my coaching, is bringing this soul goal, this power, unleashing this power in people that have that drive, who have that feeling, who feel that urgency. So Steve's vision was to bring wildlife conservation into the living room of just the everyday person. And that's why he did what he did. That's why he had this unique personality that was great for TV, that we all thought he was totally crazy, but we watched him and we listened to him. And he's just created this whole new generation of what he calls these wildlife warriors. And so there's a fucking huge learning in that, right? Like his vision, as you walk around the zoo, there's this island. There's this huge island that has these lemurs just walking around. They're just free to walk around. You get to walk around with them. That was part of his vision. And they tell you that as you go around, that he had this vision to create this island. And even after he's passed on, this island has been created. And that's the thing about vision. Like, I've talked about it a lot in the last few days, about setting this clear vision. And when you do that, not only does it manifest, I mean, that's one thing, but the other thing is when you create a vision and you put it out to people, people engage and people get on board and people support you in your vision because they'll resonate with what you're doing. It's something that is important to them. You know, you sort of have to live it out even when it's not happening yet, through your vision, through your goals, through how you share, through your marketing, right? So that people feel like it's already happening and they want to become involved. And so the other thing, the other big learning from Steve Irwin is the power of your opinion and your messaging and your beliefs. Even if they're out there, even if they're not what everybody else is thinking, you've got to believe them and you've got to put them out there with such power and strength, in spite of the fact that people might tell you you're crazy. People will actually tell you you can't do it, you know, but I believe everything is possible. Everything is possible as long as you have the belief and as long as you have the vision. And these are the things that I can help you to create. And so with his vision and with his messages, he started leading a movement. You know, the whole thing around the saltwater crocodile, like we saw this big show and they brought out Big Al, the saltwater crocodile. Hey Lydia, how are you? Mwah. I'm in Oz, mate. Or that's London, isn't it? Okay, where's my Aussie language? Anyway, it doesn't matter. So yeah, so they brought out Big Al, this saltwater crocodile, and the guy was talking about how the government had been trying to kill off the saltwater crocodile. And they've actually passed legislation which allows harvesting of crocodile eggs. And of course the zoo, Steve was against this. The zoo is now heavily against it and are leading a movement of people to see things in a different way, to see the value of the saltwater crocodile to the, the fauna of Australia, and to make a change, to change something. And that is through his vision, his belief, his messaging. It's so important. If you don't have those pieces, if you want to leave a legacy in the world, if you want to make an impact, but you can't see the vision of it, you can't see the outcome, the how doesn't matter. The how is not important. We get so stuck in the how, but that's survival mode. That's our logic and our brain trying to keep us playing safe so that we don't fail, that we don't fall. Survival mode. Vision is outside of your logic, outside of your survival mode. It is the place where everything is possible. And when you set that vision, it will happen. So he really, even in his language, talked about his mission, and he felt like that wildlife conservation was the reason that he was put on the planet. And I think I resonated again with that, because I've always had this feeling like I was put on the planet for a reason. But I felt shame around that. I felt shame, almost like I wasn't big enough to make an impact. That was such a big part of bringing life through a lens to life. My book that I'm in the process of publishing right now, I want to publish that and plant 100,000 trees, because when I came away from that rainforest project in 2010, I wanted to make a difference to that rainforest, but I felt like I was too small, So it's just so much passion and sort of meaning out of today. I'm sort of struggling to find the words to communicate it to you, but I felt that calling. I know that if you follow me, if you like my videos, if you read my blogs, if you receive my newsletter, it's because you have that calling too. You feel that urgency to do something. And I can help you get the clarity on what that is, because as I came out of the reality show Play to Win, I really started to see the clarity of where I wanted to make that impact. And in doing so, the pieces to do it fell into place. That's what I'm saying about the how. When you have the right support, when you have the vision, the how will come together. The vision is the most important piece, right? But we lack that vision because that survival mode keeps us small and keeps us safe. And so another thing that I wanted to talk about was his personality, because yesterday I talked about imposter syndrome. And I sent out a tool to a few people who wanted support to get over this feeling of imposter syndrome. And one of the points that I made in the tool is that imposter syndrome isn't you stepping into the shoes of this character that is somebody else, that is somebody new. It is your true, authentic energy coming out, but it's unfamiliar to you because you've pushed your power down for so long. And so that power, that power of being unique, being uniquely you, when you connect with that true, authentic energy, you become on fire, and you become magnetic, because it's yours, because you own it, because it's connected to your soul goal. But we shy away from those parts about us that are perhaps uncomfortable to us, because somewhere in the past, through our past experiences, some motherfucker shot them down. And you can imagine with Steve Irwin and the way he was, that loud personality, the crazy movements, the crazy facial expressions. Somewhere along the line, somebody told him, they would have told him that you're not the type of guy that's gonna be able to do this, because people like to put down people who stand out. But it's when you can have the confidence, the bulletproof belief in yourself, an indestructible mindset to stand out in all your unique power, that things start to happen. And so another thing, he's done something that nobody else has done. A lot of people come to me with these big ideas, and they come to me and say, but I don't know how I do that. I don't know how that could happen, because they haven't seen it done before. And that's a barrier, that's an obstacle. And what I say to them is everything is possible. My core message, everything is possible. We'll figure that out. You just got to have the belief and the vision that it's possible. And we'll go from there. Creating and leading, just because something has not been done before, does not mean that it cannot be done. It's people like Steve Irwin that get so hell-bent on creating and leading with something that get it done. And it's those people that make an impact in the world, and it's those people who leave a legacy. So, like I say, my vision is that everything is possible. And my message is that we have that soul goal for a reason, because our world is in crisis, and our world, it needs us to be the change that the world needs to see and not hold back on that. So there's so many, I mean, the people that I've met through Play to Win, every single one of them is on a mission for exactly that reason, right? That's how we ended up on that show. That's how we all came together, because I think we were brought together to really believe and understand, you know, why we're here on this earth and what we were put on this earth to do. And the majority of the world is in that survival mode where they are stuck within those limiting beliefs that tell them that they can't. And that's not going to save the world. That's not going to make the change that the world needs to see, because they can't show up and be the change that the world needs to see. And so my big long-term vision is the Hummingbird movement, the Hummingbird Foundation. And I don't understand what the how looks like with this, but I see the vision. And it's people like me, it's people like you doing our part, just like the hummingbird in my book, who flies into the rainforest, drops the little drops of water onto the burning flames, the burning trees, and all of the species laugh at her and tell her that what she's doing won't make a difference. But the message is that doing your part will. Doing your part, she says, I'm doing my part, because when the majority of people get outside of that survival mode, that they're stuck in their fucking life and start doing the little things, those people put together in a movement will make a difference. They will become the change the world needs to see.